Hi everybody, welcome back to another ASUS ROG Ally video. The very kind people at ASUS UK have sent me this fantastic little device to play around with. However, remember that what I have here is the non-extreme version of the ROG Ally. So if you're in the market for this and looking at the extreme version, which is the one that's readily available, then you are going to get significantly better performance. But I did want to share this because I still think it's amazing what this device can do. And if you're watching from America, you can pick this up from Best Buy, I think for about $400, which may be a bit of a bargain. And if they kind of sold it for the same price here, say they managed to get this thing out for say £330, if you think a Steam Deck OLED is $480 for the 5GB version, all of a sudden this may well become an option. So obviously what we're playing here is Starfield, and we're playing this as a kind of a demo for it, because one of the big reasons for getting something like an ASUS ROG Ally is because it gives you access to Game Pass. Because being a Windows PC, you can install the Game Pass app, and you can install Game Pass games, which is difficult to do on the Steam Deck. Doesn't work well with that sort of thing. So I thought we'd jump in and we'd do a bit of gameplay with it. Now, the settings are set down to low. The device itself, I found that for playing games, really, to get performance out of sort of first and third person games, you want to set it back to 720p at 60 hertz. So you're going to get more performance. And in fact, if we bring up the real-time monitor, you'll see that we tend to get between about 15 and 30 frames a second, which isn't many at all. However, what you often find is that the quality of this screen, this variable refresh rate screen, means that you can get away with lower frame rates and they don't look as bad. So I thought what we'd do, we're in the spaceport, I thought we would go down to let's just press here. Go down to the well, because this is one of the more interesting places to look at in the game, apart from the planets. But the planets, when you're wandering around, they're quite empty compared to the cities. So performance-wise, you get more performance. And this looks, I wish they had this screen on the Steam Deck. I really do. So although we're getting low, 20s frame rates, this is very, very playable indeed. Obviously, things slow down even more when you're getting into a gunfight. But this looks fine. In fact, to tell you what we might try and do, let me just quickly go into the settings. Just check something. Yeah, we've got VSync on. Okay. Right, let's come out of there. Let's have a look round. And I think this is playable. Now, if you've got or thinking about getting the ASUS ROG Ally Z1 or Z1 Extreme version, you're going to get better performance anyway. I think this is very, very good indeed. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to come out of this and we're going to quit. And then hopefully we'll quit to the desktop. And then I fired up the Xbox app. And let's go to cloud gaming. And let's go to Starfield. And let's see, does it let us... Okay, so we got it installed, so it's not giving us an option to play it on the cloud, is it? Yeah, it's just going to boot it up. Anyway, what I was going to try and show you then was the cloud performance of Starfield, but because it's already installed, it's not giving me the option to do that. However, what we would have found is if we did jump into the cloud version, the performance will be much, much better because it'll be streaming. So, for example, I've got a video up at the moment somewhere where I'm playing Microsoft Flight Simulator on the ROG Ally non-extreme version, and that's zipping along at 60 frames a second, incredibly smooth. So that's another option you could do, is with these more demanding games at home when you're on your really nice Wi-Fi network. Don't recommend doing it on a hotspot from your phone when you're anywhere else. You can stream these more demanding games, and you will get your 30 frames a second, probably on Starfield, and 60 frames a second on other games as well. But there we go. I mean, for a device that was, it was pretty much written off at launch, the ROG Ally non-extreme Z1, because of the less powerful processor. But I really wish that ASUS had done something like, well, I think what they should have done is whacked a 720p 60 frames per second variable refresh rate, 60 hertz variable refresh rate screen on this baby. They should have put in 256 gigabytes of RAM rather than 512 to get that price down. And so, in a similar way that Steam Deck, they have their different models by having, they have a 256 version, a 512, and a terabyte version. ASUS with their Ally could have had, they could have had a 1080p version with the high power processor, and then the 720p version with the lower power processor and the less memory, and got that price down to, say, the equivalent of what a Steam Deck LCD would be at the moment, sort of between £300 and £350, and that would have been very interesting indeed. Anyway, there we go. Starfield on the I almost said Lenovo, on the ASUS ROG Ally. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very playable, and what a great game. Anyway, that's enough for me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and I will of course see you again soon.